Hey, it's Art here with another Has-Been Heroes Boss Tips video going into the final boss of Run 6, the Wind Ghoul. This boss is my favorite fight of the entire game. And like any ghoul, it has statues that take the form of windmills. They're pretty no frills, and throughout the phases they show up in the numbers of 4, 6, and 7 respectively. But the big quirk of this fight, the Wind Ghoul actively attacks you with the Gust of Wind spell, which is shown off by this swelling ball of white energy in one of the lanes. And when you see that coming, you have to get out of the way. The problem is, every phase, it increases by 1. So in phase 2, he's going to cast 2 gusts of wind at the same time, meaning on the third and final phase, the gust of wind will hit every lane. And it's going to also affect enemies as well, which means they're going to get that much closer to you, but you can also use it to your advantage, because if the enemies are soaked, they're actually going to get frozen. So you can use that to your advantage. So you're probably asking yourself, how do you deal with these gusts of wind if they come blasting down every lane by the end of the fight? Well, if you notice at the start of the fight, there's these little things that I call wind sprites, and they are the safety mechanic of the fight. What you gotta do here is, they look like these little white shadow suicide bombers that you saw in the shield boss of the second area. You want to attack them with melee. They're immune to everything, but you want to attack them with melee, because whoever kills these wind sprites, they become completely immune to wind for the remainder of the entire fight. And that also brings up the other important point. You must divvy up who kills the wind sprite each phase. You must make sure that everybody gets immunity from the wind blasts that he's going to cast. Because if your characters are soaked and they get hit by the wind blast, they are going to be frozen almost indefinitely. And you don't want that, because it's going to freeze up the whole lane. If you don't have the proper spells, you're not going to unfreeze them from your own bidding, and it's just going to make life that much worse for you. As for the ads, they are extremely varied throughout the entire fight. There's ads with a lot of low stamina, but the most notable ads that show up in this fight are the ones that have the shields. The ones with the shields have 20 stamina, and as you can expect, 20 stamina is not fun to deal with, especially when you notice that with all the windmills throughout the phases, it's not funny when you don't have your movement space like any of the boss fights, and you just can't get to them. But that's pretty much what there is to this whole fight, because it's kind of like a puzzle. You have to plan ahead and make sure everybody gets their wind immunity. And right there you saw Tam was frozen, and I had to use Fireball to thaw her out. But yeah, the actual whole fight is like a puzzle, and that is the biggest challenge to this fight. You must plan ahead and make sure that everyone gets immunity from the wind magic, because if you don't do that, you're constantly going to be getting frozen or at least blasted back, and a blasted back hero along with a whole lane of undead getting blasted really close to the person can lead to a very catastrophic loss just because you'll have no way to counter it. So that is why you need the immunities, and by all means, if you have ice magic or water magic, use it, because you can have so much fun in this fight by just basically using the wind ghouls gusts of wind to your own advantage. And the best part is you can attack the guys and kill them, but another thing you can do is let them thaw out, because if they get hit by a gust of wind again, they're all going to get frozen again. And I'm not sure if the wind-ice interaction where they go sliding works like it does. Like, I don't know if it blasts the characters forward at you or if it actually pulls them back. But basically, just use everything to your advantage. Use the elements against them and let his own wind screw them over. That is really the easiest way to deal with this fight. And right there, apparently there was a major mass stun right there because of a gust of wind. So I assume that, yes, his gusts of wind can cause battering rams with the frozen enemies. And that just went with an epic kill. But yeah, that's basically all there is to the fight. It is it's basically a puzzle. If you play like an MMORPG, it feels like a major raid boss. And in my opinion, it's actually quite a fun fight. It's just, it can really catch you off guard if you're not ready. And if you choose poorly on not dividing who kills the wind sprite, it's going to be a very, very hard fight. And possibly even impossible to win because of all the wind blasts, and that your characters are just going to get staggered and just bounced around, and it's just nasty. But that's basically all there is to it. So with that, I'll leave you with the third phase of the fight, and this is Val Townheart signing off. And next video, we will be going into the final run of the game and introducing you to the Area 7 bosses of the city, the Cabal and the Flesh Bear. Hope to see you then.
Triple kill. Epic kill! Double kill.